Welcome to another episode of Chalk Talk with Teacher Mitch. Today's lesson will be all about common monomial factors. Before we discuss about common monomial factors, let us all define first what is factoring. Factoring is the reverse process of multiplication. So our learning target for today's lesson, I can factor polynomials with common monomial factors. How do we know if a polynomial is already factored completely? A polynomial is factored completely if each of it is expressed as a product of two or more irreducible polynomials of the same type. To factor polynomials with common monomial factors, we can use the GCF or the greatest common factor of each term of the polynomial. So what is a GCF? This is the largest number that a set of numbers of a polynomial have in common. For example, let us find the GCF of the following polynomials. To get the GCF of the following polynomials, we follow the following steps. First, get the GCF of the coefficients using any method. So we can use the prime factorization, we can use the continuous division method, or we can also use the rainbow method. The second one is to get the GCF of the variables by determining the lowest power of the shared variables. So let's try to find the GCF of these three polynomials. Let's identify first what is the GCF of the coefficients. Let's start with the coefficients. So the coefficients of these polynomials are 12, 8, 4. If you're going to get the GCF of these coefficients, the GCF will be 4. Then we identify the GCF of the variables. The variables are x cubed y squared, xy squared, and x squared y squared. First, identify what are the shared variables. The shared variables in all the polynomials are x and y. The lowest exponent for the variable x is 1. We don't put 1 anymore because it is already implied that if we don't have a power, the power is automatically being 1. Then, the lowest power for y is 2. So the GCF for our variables will be x, y squared. Therefore, the GCF of the three polynomials will be 4xy squared. We just combine the GCF of the coefficients and the GCF of the variables. Using our knowledge about GCF, then we can factor polynomials with common monomial factors. To factor polynomials with common monomial factors, we follow two steps. The first step is to find the GCF of the terms in the polynomial. This will serve as our first factor. After finding the GCF of the terms in the polynomial, then we divide each term by the GCF to get the other factor. For example, let's factor the expression 7x squared minus 7y. So, we have to find first the GCF of the terms. What are the terms here? We have 7x squared and negative 7y. Let's identify first the GCF of the coefficients. Coefficients are 7 and 7. So obviously, the GCF of 7 and 7 is 7. Then, let's identify the GCF of the variables, x squared and y. There is no shared variables. That means there's no common variables, so there is no GCF for the variables. So the GCF of this whole expression will just be 7. After getting the GCF of the whole expression, then we divide the whole polynomial with the GCF. How do we do that? Let's write 7x squared divided by 7, which is the GCF, minus 7y divided by 7. So, this will be cancelled and cancelled because 7 divided by 7 is just equal to 1. This will also be cancelled and cancelled because 7 divided by 7 again is equal to 1. So our other factor will be x squared minus y. Remember, the GCF of the polynomial is our first factor. And the quotient, once we divide the GCF with our polynomial, is the second factor. So, the factors of our polynomial are 7 and x squared minus y. Example number 2. Let's factor the expression 8x cubed minus 16x to the 4th plus 48x to the 7th power. Let's identify what's the GCF of the coefficients and the variable. The coefficients are 8, 16, and 48. And the GCF of 8, 16, and 48 is 8. The variables are x cubed, x to the 4th, and x to the 7th power. The shared variable here is x, and the lowest exponent of x that we can find here is 3. So, the GCF of our polynomial is 8x cubed. Then, we go to the next step, which is to divide. So, we copy each term and divide each term with our GCF. 8x cubed divided by 8x cubed minus 16x to the 4th divided by 8x cubed plus 48x to the 7th power divided by 8x cubed. Let's divide each. So 8x cubed divided by 8x cubed will just be 1 minus 16 divided by 8 is 2. X to the 4th divided by x to the 3rd, all you have to do is to subtract their exponents. So 4 minus 3 is just 1. So the answer for this term will be 2x plus 48 divided by 8 is 6. X to the 7th divided by x to the 3rd will be x to the 4th power. Remember, all you have to do is to subtract the exponents of the same variable. So, our other factor for the polynomial will be this. So, the factors of the polynomial above are a GCF, which is 8x cubed, and the quotient when you divide the GCF. 1 minus 2x plus 6x to the 4th power. Let's move on to our third example. Example number 3. Factor the expression 9x to the 4th, 27x to the 2nd power y minus 63x to the 5th power y squared. The coefficients are 9, 27, and 63. The GCF for this will be 9. The variables are x to the fourth, x to the second y, and x to the fifth y squared. The only shared variables of the three terms is x, and the lowest exponent of x will be 2. So the GCF of this expression is 9x squared. Now let's divide. 9x to the fourth divided by 9x squared plus 27x to the second y divided by 9x squared minus 63x to the fifth y squared divided by 9x squared. The answer will be 9 divided by 9 is 1. X to the fourth divided by x to the second will be x squared. Plus 27 divided by 9 is 3. X to the second power divided by x to the second power is just 1. So we write 1 there. Then we just copy y since there's no y in the denominator. Minus 63 divided by 9 will be 7. X to the fifth divided by x squared will be x cubed. Again, copy the y since we don't have y in the denominator. So that's y squared. Let's simplify. Omit numbers that are not supposed to be there or that are already implied. So 1 is already implied. So we write x squared plus 3 times 1 is just 3. 3y minus 7x cubed y squared. And this is our other factor. So the factors of this polynomial are 9x squared and x squared plus 3y minus 7x cubed y squared. And that will be all for our tutorial about common monomial factors. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon so that you will be notified with all the tutorials that I will be posting on YouTube. Thank you and goodbye.